if you didn't see from my main channel, I'm going on a trip with you guys. Anyone that wants to come can join me. I'm going to return to China. I talked about that in the main channel video that I released today. I went to Macau. I went to China, Hong Kong, all those places. I wanted to return. But if you are interested, there is a link in the description down below. And this is especially for you guys because if you're watching my Drew IRL content, that means that you're maybe bigger fans than everyone else. So you can find the link down below and buy an early bird ticket before the actual launch day. And if you do that, you can get a discount. There's only 8 spots, so there's a possibility that you check that link and it's already booked up. I think this Friday for sure is going to be the official launch date. You won't get the discount, but you can still join me if you wish. So this is just going to be an overall breakdown of more of what I plan to do with that trip and why I wanted to do this and basically all the choices that I came to bring me here today. First of all, I chose China for a couple different reasons, and I talked about it, but I was only in mainland China for 4 hours. I was also in the south of China in Shenzhen, so it wasn't enough, and I'm like, it kind of bothered me a little bit because I'm like, oh, I wanted so much more time. You know, again, Hong Kong and Macau are not the same as mainland China. So the other reason why I chose China is because I wanted something a bit more affordable for my first ever trip with you guys. I didn't want to do something that was going to cost $6,000 or something crazy like that. I did want something affordable, and China is definitely more affordable, but at the same time with a lot of history, and China is a country that obviously I've talked about for a very, very, very long time, making videos here on YouTube. So I wanted to explore more. So I'm going to break down the entire itinerary here, and let's just go over it. So, I mean, the big thing, Great Wall of China. I mean, that's just a bucket list of thing that I'd like to see. Great Wall of China, the Terracotta Army. You know, we're obviously seeing the capital, the current capital of China, as well as the old capital as well. And we're going to ride one of those high-speed trains. Very excited for that because I'm a big train guy. So the actual trip itself is called China, A Taste of Two Ancient Capitals. This has a $2 sign on there. This was actually the second cheapest trip I think I could find on the entire website. So that's what made me excited for it. The other one was Vietnam. It's kind of a weird balance choosing the trips because, so personally, I didn't want to return to, I've been to Europe so many times, I think, the last couple of years. I will definitely return to Europe very soon. If people like this trip, then absolutely, I don't want to say absolutely, but more than likely, I will plan another trip very, very soon through this same website. I'll travel with you guys, and it's almost a guarantee that I'll go to Europe for a second trip. But yeah, I personally wanted China. I'm definitely Asia pilled right now after coming back from Asia. I just loved it. It was so different than what I'm used to, and that's why I'm like, dang, I wanted something. Japan, I've never been to Japan, South Korea. I mean, these are all on the future if this works out. But yeah, we're going in April. That is a green month. It's luckily not too south in China. When I went to China, it was in it was early June, so it was hot and sweaty. Luckily, if the globe and the latitude and everything like that, Beijing is way more up north. I think there's a good reason why this is in the green. It's going to be a lot more bearable. So anyways, we're going to be embarking on a 7-day culinary journey and cultural exploration. Begin your adventure in Beijing by exploring the grandeur of the Forbidden City, followed by the hands-on dumpling making experience in a traditional hut tongue. I'm gonna have to work on my Mandarin. Oh, that's another huge reason. Let me break this down. A big reason why I chose China is because there are certain experiences that I realize I need a guide. I can't just raw dog it, and I do that so often in travel. And you can do that through Europe. A lot of Europeans know English. You can't do that in a place like China. You can't do that in a lot of places in Latin America, for example, a lot of places in Africa. And I started realizing oh, I need a guide and a host. I can't just go alone or, go with someone that maybe only partially speaks the language. So that was a huge reason also, because I can go to Europe at any point and just, I mean, I have gone to Europe just completely by myself and just, went in and just figured it out. You can't do that in a place like China. So I felt like this was a really good opportunity to have someone, because there will be a guide, obviously, that speaks Mandarin and English, taking us through the whole thing. So that's cool. And I personally, I've talked about it before, if you've watched my vlogs, I love just throwing myself into a place that doesn't speak any English. That's like my favorite stuff. I want to be I want to feel like I'm on an alien planet. But sometimes that can be dangerous. Sometimes that can be, you can make some bad decisions. And, I got like detained by the border guard for a little bit going from Hong Kong to China because I wasn't able to understand Mandarin. I wasn't able to read the languages or read the signs telling me like, hey, you can't go to this station. You have to go to the other station. I went to the wrong station, got detained briefly, but I think it's all good. Anyways, yeah, Terracotta Army. Someone who's played Civilization, I've been seeing, you can build the Terracotta Army and as a wonder in that game forever. I've been building that forever, so thought that would be very, very cool to go see. I also did include this, there's a Muslim street view day, or is it Muslim street food tasting, basically, on one of the days. Dude, when it comes to travel, give me everything. That's literally how I don't care what it is, what I'm doing. You could tell me to like eat a cockroach. I probably wouldn't do that, but maybe. I want everything, to be honest. I want to be exposed to as much as possible. So I feel like for any of these trips, if you can add on an experience, I'm definitely the type of guy that's like, yes, don't care. Put me in a shark cage. Put me in, I don't even know. Throw me in Antarctica. I just want the experience. I want to see as much of the world as humanly possible. So the total trip is 8 days. There's 8 to 24 spots. Again, below this video in the description, there is an early bird. That's for the first 8 spots. If there's no more spots open, then the early bird discount have already been filled out, and you can wait till this Friday, to still get in. So there's 24 spots available. I believe my editor Frank, if you've been following me for a long time, is going to be coming. No guarantees. We don't know for sure, but I believe he's going to be coming with me too. So you'll be able to meet both of us. We got 4-star hotels, 7 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 3 dinners. I'm glad that we're not. I'm really glad. So I'm not a big fan of being like railroaded in someone's like itinerary when it comes to travel, especially with the way I travel, because like I like a light itinerary, but I really like free open spots. I'm not, there's like 2 types of travelers as far as I've seen, maybe 3. The ones that just like have every single hour planned out. The people that kind of go there and have nothing planned out. I'll be honest, that was kind of me. That was kind of me for a lot of the times. And then I've kind of evolved into like the third traveler, which is kind of a merging of both. I like to have a soft structure that I can kind of adjust. So I'm glad that not everything is going to be like railroaded in. We can kind of choose to do different things. We don't have to, there's plenty of time to have your own adventures. So Tiananmen Square, we get to go there. Oh my God, that's gonna be crazy. I'm also gonna vlog the experience, obviously. So yeah, if you don't want to be in the vlog, you can. If you do want to be in the vlog, go for it. But yeah, I'm gonna be filming, of course, the Forbidden City. Gonna make some dumplings, cable car ride. Gonna see the Great Wall. We're gonna bicycle on the city wall, and then see the Terracotta Warriors. This seems like honestly a life. I was going to say life-changing. Maybe it will be, but this seems like such a massive bucket list thing. For me especially, I'm like, damn, I can't believe that I have the opportunity to do this. This is going to be incredible. So I'm really excited for it. I think a thing for me was it's hard to find like the nice in-between of like doing. So I'm not like I don't love going to the places I like going to places that are a little bit less traveled, but I know typically speaking, if people are traveling, they probably want to try something new. Or sorry, I don't know what the word is. Typically, you kind of want to go to France, for instance. There's a reason why France is the #1 country traveled to, the most traveled to country in the world. France is seen as like, this thing. for me, I'm like, maybe I'll do that one day, but I really like going off the beaten path. Not that China's that much of a beaten path, but for an American, honestly, for Americans, it kind of is. A lot of Americans, I think, are not doing this. So in my opinion, it kind of is. Now, it depends on how advanced of a traveler you are. I would say a really off the path, beaten path would be like Kazakhstan or something like that. And one day I would like to do that. But anyways, I don't know how I got down this rabbit hole. But I think this is a perfect merge of not too far off the beaten path. But I think it is for me a little bit, slightly. Again, that's probably not the case for the rest of the world. China is a very well-traveled to city. But I think for a lot of Americans, it's slightly considered that. Other inclusions, so we have 4-star hotels. We're getting a local guide, all city transfers. That's going to be awesome. Visa thing, I did talk about that. Visas, apparently, they've never had problems with Americans getting visas. I got a visa to go to China, so it wasn't a problem at all. Just a simple tourist visa. I'll say this is random, but I also think that speed changed a lot of things for us. I think when speed went to China, that changed a lot for China welcoming as many people as possible over. I was actually this close to doing it. I did do a video about it, but I waited, and maybe I'll do it a little bit different. But I talked about how much speed the streamer changed things on a geopolitical level. It's kind of funny when he went to China. I probably need to remake that video, to be honest. Okay, so day one. Welcome. Please be prepared to meet in the lobby. The dinner reservation time will be finalized closer to your trip date. Fly to PEK. I believe that's Beijing. This is the welcome dinner at a local restaurant. Now, I have had duck in China now. I had duck in Hong Kong. Duck is very popular I would say popular in China. It's not that popular in the U.S. I've never had duck. Oh, no. I did have duck. What am I talking about? Oh, I'm thinking of goose. My bad. I was trying a lot of goose, I think, in Hong Kong. But anyways, I love duck. I've never had Beijing duck before, so that's exciting. Dinner will typically be a spread of dishes shared family style. We will be at the Beijing Sun Hotel or similar overnight in Beijing. Day 2 is the beginning day. Oh, yeah, here are the reviews. There's 14 reviews there. Pretty good reviews. So we're starting off the journey at Tiananmen Square, a monument public square in the heart of Beijing, surrounded by key landmarks like the Chairman Mao. Bro, it's going to be so crazy. Oh my God. That's going to, man. Yeah, we're definitely vlogging that. We is definitely vlogging that. Also seeing the National Museum. We're going to explore the Forbidden City, an Imperial Palace complex of 9,000 rooms. I'm getting excited just thinking about this. And then at the end of the day, we're making traditional Chinese dumplings. I love dumplings. So that's the overall summary of day 2. Then we have breakfast. Breakfast is from the hotel. Tiananmen Square is going to take an hour. The Forbidden City takes about 2 hours. Here's all the explanation of the Forbidden City. And then dumpling making at night, approximately 90 minutes. Then we have lunch. Lunch is included with the dumpling making class. And then back to Beijing for overnight. So we have dinner that night. We can kind of figure out what we want to do. Day 3, you will transfer out of the city to explore this section of the Great Wall, specifically this section. This is the longest and most fully restored section. You'll take a cable car ride up to the wall and take a toboggan ride down if you're feeling adventurous. Hell yeah, I'm down to do that. That sounds cool. After visiting the Great Wall, you're transferred to lunch at a local restaurant in a village. That sounds awesome. I love the, getting out of the big city. So to have an opportunity to get out of the big city would be really nice. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be somewhat touristy. It's the Great Wall. It's right by I'm sure the village is not going to be really a small village. But yeah, breakfast from the hotel, transfer to the Great Wall. Here's the cable car ride. We're going to see the Great Wall. We're going to have a lunch. Your meal's typically a set menu, shared family style. Very cool, because I want to try as many foods as possible. That's the one thing I feel, when I try, when I go to a restaurant when I'm traveling and I just get one dish, I'm like, I wish, especially when I'm traveling alone, I'm like, damn, I wish there's more people here so I can try other people's food, because I want to try as much as possible. Transfer back to Beijing, and then back at this hotel at night, day 4. This is when we're going to say goodbye to Beijing. We're going to transfer, and we're going to do the bullet train. We're going back to the old capital. So I need to look up more research on when Beijing became the new capital. What year was that? But yeah, breakfast from the hotel. We take the bullet train. That's going to be an all-day experience. I love traveling train. I really got to learn about it. As an American, we don't really have fast trains. Trains are so much better just because like you see the countryside. It also feels so much more comfortable. I don't like to sleep on trains because you get to see the landscape. But it's just I love seeing the actual land itself, the nature. But it's so much easier at the very same time to sleep on trains than airplanes for me. I don't know what that is. Just so much more relaxing. I guess there's less turbulence and things like that. So day 5 is your first full day. So we go in the like deep part of the city of China, which I think is really cool. It's not like Shanghai or where I was before in Shenzhen. We're going deep into China. That's going to be exciting. I don't see too many people that do travel to China go here, so that's cool. So we're going to get breakfast from the hotel. We're going to cycle on the city wall. Cycling on the city wall offers a unique perspective of the ancient capital, enjoying panoramic. Dude, I cannot say that word. Panoramic views. There we go. City's historic architecture and surrounding landscape, dating back over 600 years, providing leisurely and immersive ways to experience the rich cultural heritage. Dude, that's so awesome. There's also another option to rent a golf car on top of the wall at your own cost. I think I'd want a bike, to be honest, but we'll see. Dinner at a local restaurant, and this is the hotel we're staying at, day 6. Other than being China's first capital, I need to figure out how to properly pronounce the city's name before we get there. We're also going to be visiting the Terracotta Warriors. That is so. I got to see one Terracotta Warrior in Hong Kong, but we're going to see like literally all of them. So we're going to be able to learn the history and visit 3 different pits where the warriors were buried. That's going to be so crazy. I didn't know that we like just recently discovered that. What an incredible archaeological find. Here's breakfast. Hotel to Terracotta Warriors. Here's the Terracotta Warriors. Clay Warriors were discovered in 1976. It wasn't even over 100 years. We didn't even know this thing existed. I wish I was around during that time. Like, what a monumental explosion. I'm not sure how Americans felt at this time, but from a world perspective, less than 50 years ago, we found this massive archaeological site that had been buried for 2,000 years. How incredible is that? My mind's still blown when I think about that. 3 main pits are open to you to view, where over 6,000 warriors, each individually sculpted from clay. Bro, that is so awesome. That's so awesome. And then we get to see, so this is the museum where we're having lunch, and then back to the Terracotta Warriors to hotel. And there's time here for dinner. Day 7, this is the last full day. You can either spend the day exploring the city at leisure or sign up at the optional walking food tour. So I decided to do that. It's only 2 hours. There's plenty of other time to do other stuff. And then the farewell dinner will be held that night. And then we go back. And then day 8, all good things must come to an end, but only until your next adventure. Enjoy a final breakfast and then make your way onward. So we'll be departing from that city, not Beijing. I wonder if there's a direct flight back to LAX. I'm going to have to figure out all that stuff. But yeah, and then here are some of the reviews. The reviews look good. Seems like an incredible experience. Like I said, I'm really excited for this. I hope you guys are as well. If there seems to be enough interest from the community, then I've already planned to do maybe another trip. But we'll see. We'll kind of see about that. I'm really just focused on this for now. I really want to do this. I feel like every year I have like a new addiction, a new part of the world where I really want to travel to more. It was like Europe, and then it was like Latin America, and now it's definitely just like Asia in general. But yeah, so I wonder what it's going to be in the future. But I'm very excited. Like I said, check that link down below. If it's not Friday yet, you can sign up your email to be notified when the launch is live, when the launch goes through this Friday. And then yeah, you can you don't have to put the full money down. You can only put You can put 25% down right now if you'd like, and then pay off the rest as we approach the dates of 2026. So yeah, very excited for this. I'll be giving updates here on this channel and the main channel, but here I'll probably be able to break down more stuff. And I'll see you guys around then, I guess.